in 2019 to 2020, what did you improve on the most? And then what do you feel like 2020 to 21 now, what do you feel like you have to improve on the most to become a successful NFL quarterback?
I would probably say the biggest thing from 19 to 20, my junior to my senior year, was just really everything was mental. And, I think just me being able to go back home during quarantine and really just evaluate myself and, kind of get away from campus and, create my own routine and making sure that I'm, accountable in everything that I'm doing. That was definitely huge for me. And I think just being able to step away and, just have a refresher because, in the NFL, you have your regular season. Then if you make the playoffs, and after that, you're pretty much done for a couple of months. But college football players, right after their season, depending on when you play, you'll be back in school, within a week or two. And then you get 1 week off of spring break. And a lot of the time you're preparing for, your spring ball, which is right after. So you really don't get any breaks in football. So being able to kind of take a step back and, really evaluate myself and really evaluate myself mentally so that I can go out on the field and, just play with 100% confidence. That was my main goal. So as of right now, I'm just trying to working on my feet to get them faster and really just, playing faster as a whole. And I think, once I can get that and, be really consistent with that, I could play at an elite level in the NFL.
I'm sure you hear from a lot of teams. Like, how much that you hear from teams are you like, okay, that sounds great. Let's see if that actually happens. Because, this is the time of year where teams sometimes don't always tell the truth. How do you process information that you get from teams along your journey?
I think you just take it for what it is. And, I'm already an even kill person, so I don't necessarily trust all the information that I hear. And I know that there's still a lot of information that I still don't hear. So especially dealing with the draft. And I know a lot of, people on Twitter that say they talk to these certain GMs about who they're drafting. And, to be honest, I don't think a GM would, give up who they're drafting because someone ahead of them would, eventually take who they're picking. So that's not very smart. So at the end of the day, I think no one, maybe a few people know where they're going. But at the end of the day, especially in my case, I have no idea where I'm going, what round, what pick. So I'm just going to enjoy the draft night and just whatever team ends up drafting me. I think both sides are going to be truly blessed to have the opposite person's presence.
A couple of names that have popped up for the Dallas Cowboys have been a couple guys you played against, and Patrick Surtain and also Jaycee Horn. Which one of those cornerbacks is easier to torch whenever you're throwing football?
Easier to torch.
Or if you want to put it in a different way.
Honestly, because I played against those two guys, a lot of NFL teams have actually asked, who was better and just like strength, weaknesses, just because, I'm able to study them and, pretty much a lot of their game tape. I don't necessarily know who's better. I think they're slightly different, but they're, I think, both phenomenal at what they do. But they're definitely my 1 and 2, kind of my 1A, 1B. But I think Surtain is a little bit more patient, able to mirror and stay on top of receivers. And I think Jaycee Horn is a little bit more physical. I do think he's a little bit smaller than Surtain, but, they're both, honestly phenomenal. But I think, both are able to play a lot of positions and, in the slide outside and just play man coverage and be phenomenal at it.
What's it been like kind of having conversations with the NFL teams? Obviously they have a lot of questions that they want to get into you to find out what's going on in your mind and about your game. So what have those conversations been like? Fun?
Yeah, they have. And, I think just kind of the biggest things that they ask is, they want to know how you process information. They want to know what type of offense you were in and just really for you to explain the offense and then, show certain defenses and just really kind of pick your brain and understand, how you're able to react. Because, if you're able to kind of spit it out fast, there's a good chance that you can go out on the field and, react even faster. So, for me, it's been a blessing and, it's definitely been, pretty hectic with, so many different teams and, different interviews and, meetings and stuff like that. But, I would definitely take, studying and talking over football and, concepts than writing papers in class. And so I tell a lot of people that. So I'm definitely blessed to be in the position that I'm in.
Who are maybe some of the other quarterbacks that you look at in the NFL and you say, hey, maybe my game's a little bit similar to them. Studying them could be a smart move.
Yeah, so I think kind of the way I watch film, I don't necessarily watch film on certain guys that I necessarily play like, but if there are certain guys who, have great feet, and I'm trying to figure out how to make my feet faster, my base better, then I go to certain guys. So if I'm trying to find ways to find looser, or just kind of throw out a platform, I can watch certain guys. So, I go to different guys for everything. So I think Drew Brees and Tom Brady were really my main two on, just really playing faster with my feet. But I think just being able to throw from, different platforms, off angle is more like Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, guys who play a little bit more looser and more free. So, I've seen definitely a lot of comparisons, but kind of the way I watch film and just the way I want to learn and add to my game is, pick from, all the different people's brains and attributes.
Over the offseason, the Cowboys signed Dak to a pretty extensive contract there. He is the starter on this team. If let's say you got drafted by the Cowboys, would you be happy to be in a backup role with an opportunity at some point, or is it more important for you to go ahead and get starting time early on in your career?
Well, I tell a lot of people that, one, just me being able and being the person who was thrown into the fire just my freshman year and just really just trying to get it out the mud and continue to fight and grow, has definitely taught me a lot and, added to the experience that I have. And, so I think just me going in and, having to start if I had to, I think I'm a lot ahead of the curve than, where a lot of other people would be. But also at the same time, I know I'm a huge learner and, I want to go on and learn, all different types of tendencies and just really be able to pick, guys who've played in the NFL, pick their brain. So I'm able to, I think, to do both. And, I think I'm going to be able to have success with either one, is required.